Welcome to Watch, Review, Repeat. This is the podcast where two best friends discuss the latest in film and television and then do it all over again the following week. My name is Colton Brown, and with me is Andrew Meadows.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Can't complain. I guess I'll say at the top, this isn't the first time that you and I have convened recently. We were hanging out, shooting the shit just a few days ago, completely off air. We were just hanging out, remotely, as if that was a thing that people do in these times. But it was good. We had a few beverages. I had a few beverages, I must confess, and I'm still honestly paying the price a little bit for it a few days later. So I am sipping on tea for today's episode, and not beer for once. So we'll see if that makes this episode a little bit more, I guess I should say a little less unwieldy, maybe more concise, certainly more concise, I think, than our last episode was, which was a really, really great, fun episode on Hamilton. Everyone should listen to that.
Alexander Hamilton!
But my yes, perfect. My reigning accomplishment was getting that episode length to be under the actual runtime of the feature film Hamilton itself.
It's never good when you can say, you know what, instead of listening to this episode, you could just watch the show.
It would take about 25 seconds longer to watch the film itself. Actually, really, with credits factored in, it would actually be shorter to watch the movie. But you should do that anyway, because Hamilton's great. I've been blasting the soundtrack recently. We're already getting off topic, but man, I have to go back and rewatch it. I haven't done so yet. I've just been listening to the music nonstop, and so I'm excited to revisit it at some point. So maybe in time for next episode, I'll be able to give a second take on Hamilton. But anyway, I'm drinking tea. I'm having a good night, good day so far, I must say. How are things faring over there?
Things are going well. I'm getting closer to a family trip, at the end of the month. So taking a little time off.
And where are you heading for this trip?
Destin, Florida. So we were originally going to, this is going to sound like poor Corona management probably, but we were originally going to go to, we were going to do another cruise this year. We had a really good time.
Obviously not happening.
That's not happening. And this cruise was intended to be a entire Sarah family cruise. Cousins, extended family, grandma.
Big event.
Like big event, right? Like 20 some odd people going on the cruise. Big family. So that didn't end up happening. So what we did was we got refunds for all that. The whole family got the refunds from it. And we rented like what is essentially what I'm thinking. I mean, I haven't seen the home yet. I've seen it and it looks pretty grand. It's essentially like a mansion almost in Destin. Like a big beach house that can sleep like 20 some odd people. So that's what we're doing. We're going to go to Destin for 4 or 5 days. So that's cool. Looking forward to it. And it's time out of work, which is also stupendous.
Indeed. Well, it sounds like a good time, without beating a dead horse, stay safe and, be careful and all that. But
careful as you can be.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. You live in Florida. It's the wild, wild west. We know this to be true. 15,000 cases, I think, setting last daily record, last I checked anyway. We don't need to dwell on it, I guess is my point. But it is still ever present, of course. Oh, coronavirus, how you have played such a lovely, lovely role in 2020. Well, I guess as it turns out, coronavirus has played quite the role in terms of film and television, as we've talked about at length in previous episodes. And the one side effect of that is we have turned our attention to streaming services for new content, for new films, and this week is no exception. We were talking about Palm Springs, which is a Hulu original film. Perhaps
I think it's the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, probably the first Hulu original film that I've ever experienced. And I'm not sure, I actually don't know for a fact if this, I don't know. I mean, if it's a Hulu original film, that to me implies that it wasn't just a Hulu acquisition and then dumped on Hulu type thing. To me, it seems like Hulu ground up, invested, in the production of this film and the making of this film and the distribution of this film. So, it's a little bit different from your Lovebirds type things where Netflix is just like, oh, this movie's not coming out in theaters. We'll snap it up for some millions of dollars, or even Hamilton for that matter, which would have been a theatrical release had it not been for coronavirus. So, yeah, it's kind of it's a topsy-turvy year because we're missing out on a lot of great films so far that we, should have had. I mean, Black Widow would have been old hat at this point, type thing. There's just a lot of stuff that we haven't had the chance to see because of the theater shutdown. But it has created this little wrinkle where we've been able to, do more of a deep dive on your extractions and just kind of films that might have been, kind of swept under the rug, kind of forgotten.
That's right.
And another time. So
very accessible films, which is, sometimes people don't find the time to go to a theater. So perhaps it's a, I don't know, it's just something that we normally wouldn't do is cover this long string of streaming platform films, so it's cool. It's interesting. I like it. It's very convenient. So.
I think it's a blessing and a curse. I obviously would happily trade my 2020. I would trade everyone's 2020 for a normal 2020, even if like all of those, even the majority of those movies that came out in theaters just turned out to be bad movies. Like I would trade.
Prefer to have a standard year, right?
Correct. I would. But that said, it's a blessing in the sense that we've had the opportunity to see some of these movies and give them, at least in terms of podcast. I mean, most of these movies, I don't think we would have done an episode on in years past. And so we've kind of had to, make do with what we've had in terms of new content, but it is an opportunity at the same time. So you got to make the best of the circumstances. And so Palm Springs is something, that comes along. Trailer was very bright, enjoyable. And it seemed like something worth watching. And we will talk about it in some detail later on as to whether at least my inclinations were correct. But I will ask you for now, just as a placeholder, do you have any fun facts about Palm Springs you'd like to share with the listeners? Pseudo fun facts I'll accept at this point.
Pseudo fun facts. I don't have
Tough
a whole
times.
lot on this, other than the fact that it follows the tropes of certain films before it of the same genre, of like the same, of the ones I've seen. I've seen two movies, one of which is the podcast's namesake, Live, Die, Repeat, which is a Groundhog Day like film.
Right.
And this, I think, follows a similar trope, and it follows a very similar story beats, albeit a very different kind of story. I mean, it's a very different movie, but it does follow similar tropes, which would... Have you ever seen Groundhog Day?
I have. It's been a long time since I've seen Groundhog Day, and I'd say probably the last time I saw it was in chunks on TV.
Does it follow the same tropes?
On TV. I mean, yeah, it's kind of the trope originator in a way. So yes, I would say so. I mean, I feel like most movies that have touched on time loops have kind of used Groundhog Day as their jumping off point and have had, and I think they've tried to change the formula instead of just doing the same thing over again. So yes, yeah, I think it does, but this is, I think your Palm Springs, your Edge of Tomorrow's, Live, Die, Repeats, whatever, are those are all very different films, whether it's because of changing the genre, a la Edge of Tomorrow to like a, sci-fi setting and genre and action genre. There's different ways to play with this same concept and still keep it kind of novel. Happy Death Day is a horror inspired take on it.
This is
I didn't see the sequel on that. And this, yeah, loosely I would say, it's a comedy. I guess Groundhog Day is as well, but it's a very different setting, I guess, overall. So it's different enough that it's obviously hitting the same touchstones, the same tropes, if you wanna go that route, but different enough that it can stand apart without just feeling like a rehash of the same old thing.
I enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy the.
I think it's fun. I think it's a fun kind of setup for a film. Like I think it's up to the film to take advantage of it. Like there's a lot of potential with what you can do, and I think that I think Groundhog Day is one, and I think a lot of them have just done a good job of kind of having fun with it, because of the potential that type of story allows for.
I think I don't know. And we can get into it in spoilers, but I mean, on a deeper level, I think it's a very relatable film, especially to like cultures and stuff.
Yeah.
Like how many people go in wake up and day in, day out, ad nauseum, it feels like the same shit day in, day out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
And I mean, I know I feel like that a vast majority of the time. I've been waking up 6 days a week doing the same thing since 16 years old. So, you know, sometimes it feels like I'm fucking living a time loop. So it's I don't know. It's just an interesting concept, and I don't know. I think it's a even though it's a sci-fi kind of thing, you know, it's different. I think it's also relatable. So I don't know. I really enjoy Groundhog Day trope, time loops, and we'll get into it. That's pretty much it. That's all I got for fun fact.
It's a crucial part of this film's plot, and we'll talk about it, I guess, later. I guess, we might as well put a pin in it there, because otherwise we'll just dive right into the film the movie, right now. Right. But it's a huge part of what the film is about. So it's worth pointing out that it's obviously not the first one that's done it, but maybe it does. Maybe it uses that concept in creative and fun ways. We'll see. We'll talk about it. So hard shift here. It's been. We've had a lot of tragic deaths in the past, I'd say,
fucking
week or
year?
so. Like, well, yes, year is true. But I feel like particularly the past week and a half, however long it's been since we recorded on Hamilton, it's just been
3 fucking days, 2 days.
Yeah, it's been, I don't know. It's like just a real string, 3 in particular that I want to talk about, but just 3 particular deaths that, really just out of nowhere, shocking, and just, heartbreaking type things. And for people that I'm either wholly, super familiar with or not familiar with at all, like it still kind of hits the same way. And I wanted to talk about it at the top. I usually try to keep our, in memoriam section at the top. I know it kind of puts a bit of a cloud on the episode, but I think it's worth talking about these people and the lives that they lived and unfortunately have now lost. So I'll start with Naya Rivera, who was a star on Glee, a TV show that I'm pretty confident in saying that neither of us watched, but ran for, I think, 6 seasons. She was, I think, in the series from the beginning, and then was promoted to a starring cast member starting in the 2nd season. And she unfortunately passed away just a few days ago. Well, she went missing a few days ago, and her body was recovered from a lake in California, I think a couple days ago. So she was 33 years old. She was at the lake with her, I think, 4-year-old son. And basically, it's just a real tragic story. It was an accidental drowning was how she died, but she was able to basically get her son back onto a boat that they were on together at the lake, and she had enough energy to get the son back onto the boat and save his life, and he was basically found on his own, and then they couldn't find her until recently. So it's a real tragic thing that's happened. It's kind of...
She fell off the boat?
I don't know exactly what the details were. I think I don't know.
I mean, it all pretty much goes off the story of the
I don't know
son,
if the
right?
boat capsized. I don't know if they, went swimming and then for whatever reason she got separated enough that she couldn't get back onto the boat. I'm not sure. I mean, the only witness to it is her 4-year-old son. So I don't know if we have the exact details on what exactly happened. No foul play, nothing like that, but it's just a really tragic thing to be 33 years old. She posted on Twitter, just a really, really nice picture of her with her son, I think day of. And, so it's just a really, really set of tragic circumstances that happen. And I'm not familiar with her work at all. Just a lot of the Glee cast, had nothing but nice things to say about her and her work on the show. And there's a lot of Glee alums that we have now seen on in other things. Melissa Benoist as Supergirl, Grant Gustin as The Flash. A lot of those Glee, cast members went on to do good things that we liked and do like. So it's a real, like I said, it's a real sad thing that happened. And so rest in peace to her. Obviously, it's good that her son was able to survive, but it's going to be a tough, it's going to be tough to lose your mom at 4 years old and and kind of have to live with that. And this isn't the first time. I mean, Glee is kind of one of those productions I feel like that has been cursed. One of the cast members, Corey Monteith, died from, I think, a drug overdose while they were in like the 4th or 5th season of the show. And there was another cast member, starring cast member, that I believe committed suicide. I think maybe some years after the show had finished, kind of, I assume, related to some pretty heinous charges that he had been hit criminal charges. So it's been an unfortunate kind of set of circumstances for, I think, a lot of the Glee family since the show, or as the show was airing, and then since. So this is just kind of the latest in a string of really kind of awful things that have happened. But yeah, like I said, it's a real shitty thing. So rest in peace to her, to Naya Rivera, and best wishes to her family. And shifting gears into another set of tragic circumstances, actress Kelly Preston has passed away at age 57 from breast cancer. I don't think she hasn't done a whole lot of acting really since the 80s and 90s. She's maybe at this point most well known for being John Travolta's wife. And they did, I think, appear in some films together. Most recent, I think her last film role was in Gotti, which was critically reviled, so that's an unfortunate.
She was in Cat in the Hat. She was the mom of Cat in the Hat.
She was in Cat in the Hat. She was in Sky High as, I think, the mom in Sky High. Just looking at an article, and it kind of has her as most well known from Jerry Maguire, where she was Tom Cruise's fiance, and that she was in Twins with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, like I said, more prolific, I think, kind of before we really got super invested into film and television ourselves, just because of her ages. But 57 years old is really, really too young, and she had a 2-year struggle with breast cancer, and unfortunately,
God, that hit hard. 2 years,
lost her life. So that's just, the Travolta family has similarly been struck with tragedy. I think they had a child that died a few years back at maybe 16 years old, somewhere around there. So
I think Travolta's first wife passed away as well.
I think I remember seeing something about that. So that's just another set of circumstances that are just nothing but tragic all around. So rest in peace to Kelly Preston as well. And the last one is probably the one that I have the most connection to personally.
Right. I can identify with the most.
A host of Mythbusters, Grant Imahara. He was one of the secondary hosts. He wasn't one of the two principal hosts. He was kind of in that secondary team. Died age 49. Sudden brain aneurysm. Just a really, really fucked up, horrible thing. Out of nowhere. Crazy thing. I love Mythbusters. I watched it a lot back in the day. I think it hasn't been on air in a while, to be fair. But when it was on air, I watched a lot of Mythbusters. I watched him on Mythbusters a lot. So this was kind of, someone I haven't seen in a long time. But, 49 years old is just a brain aneurysm is just, that's horrible. It's just a really, really another thing of just this crazy. These 3 deaths are just really, really unfortunate, tragic circumstances that are so sudden and scary. So
you just never know. You never know.
You just never know. So, and he actually, I think he worked for Lucasfilm for maybe 10 years, something like that, at ILM. Yeah, a pioneer in engineering, special effects, animatronics, and stuff like that. Worked on the Star Wars prequels.
Drove R2-D2. Drove him around. Yeah. Remote controlled him, repaired him, all sorts of stuff.
So even before Mythbusters, he was affecting us in ways that we didn't see. But he had a great energy on Mythbusters as a host, kind of an infectious energy. Someone who was obviously insanely
just fucking excited,
smart,
man.
And talented, and just super passionate about just getting the opportunity on Mythbusters to make weird, crazy shit and test things and blow things up and
share it and share the experience. That's. You watch people like that on film and television, and they have a way of inspiring you to do things,
Yeah.
And it's
definitely, and he was a big part of why Mythbusters, I think, was such a fun show to watch. So
absolutely.
So gone too soon, all 3 of them, but you're in rest in peace to all of them. Grant Imahara, among those. Like I said, kind of the most one that I think kind of hit the hardest for me in the sense of just having that personal connection and just feeling like, oh damn, I'm sure all three of these people have had profound effects on our listeners, anyone for this reason, because they were in that, whether you watch Glee, whether you're a huge Jerry Maguire fan or Sky High fan, just all these projects that they made, I think certainly left an impact on a lot of people. And so their deaths will similarly leave quite the impact on it. Not the kind of news that we need in 2020.
No,
to get to have that get piled on is just it's just really sad. So shifting gears, kind of hopefully into a more lighthearted direction. We do have some news to talk about this week. Quite a variety, some trailers, some news, kind of running the gamut of things, and some good things I think to talk about. And so the first thing we're going to talk about is the latest in the string of Disney's live action adaptations of their animated films, I guess I should specify. Peter Pan is getting a live action adaptation. I don't know if you knew that. I definitely didn't know about that. That's not the actual point of this news, but I figure that's probably the place to start, is to say that this is something that's going to be happening.
That's happening, right?
And I guess makes sense. Obviously Mulan has yet to come out, but they're clearly trying to go through basically their entire back catalog at this point. But the piece of news that's relevant, that's why we're talking about it, is Jude Law is joining the project.
Jude
to
Law
to play the classic Disney villain Captain Hook in this live action adaptation. So he's I think I feel like his last villain role was as Yanrog in Captain Marvel. So I guess he's just sticking with the Disney villain train at this point.
That's okay.
But yeah. I mean, I like Jude Law. I mean, what do you think? Does he strike you as a Captain Hook type, or do you want a Peter Pan? It's called Peter Pan and Wendy, I guess I should say. Peter Pan and Wendy.
There are more Captain Hook-esque characters or people that I can just envision playing the role. As far as acting chops, though, Jude Law's got it. I think Jude Law's an excellent fucking actor. He's definitely, if I had a list of favorite actors, he would be somewhere on there. I think I really like Jude Law. So yeah, I mean, he can do it. It's just I would not envision him. He would not be my first choice of. I don't.
It's weird because I don't think of Jude Law as the villain type. I think he can. He could be appropriately smarmy and absolutely fit that kind of character. But he's just not who I would peg for Captain Hook. I think of Captain Hook as, I guess, just being more villainous. I don't.
Hey, picture him being a fucking pirate.
He's a fucking pirate. I don't picture Jude Law as a pirate, I guess I should say.
Yeah, that's just it. Now, who they have in Jack Sparrow? What movie was that? With the fucking Blackbeard.
Was there
Ian McShane
in that one?
Ian McShane.
Yeah, well, he was Blackbeard. Yeah, you think of him. Yeah, he'd be
Ian McShane
he'd
could
be a fucking phenomenal Captain Hook.
You could think of who else could you? J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons could be a fucking Captain Hook, I think.
Timely, given his appearance in Palm Springs. Yeah, he'd be good at that. I guess I think about Dustin Hoffman and Hook.
Okay, yeah,
as kind of that's to me that's
the quintessential Hook
of who Captain Hook is in live action, at least. But yeah, I can picture Jude Law as hateable because of Contagion, which we talked about for our COVID-19 pandemic special when he played, the guy that was pushing the, here's this drug that's going to save your life from this thing. And it's just, he played an absolute fucking hateable dude in that. So he needs to be a little bit more charming as Captain Hook, but I think he's got the talent to
But you got
take that role
Gattaca.
somewhere.
Gattaca, I think, is one of his. Oh, Gattaca's so good. It's one of my favorite roles.
I gotta watch Gattaca again. It's been a while.
That's such a good movie, dude.
Yeah, it is. So I don't know. It seems good. I like Jude Law. Not my first choice, or not who I would have pegged for the role. Get it, peg, for the role. But I'm looking forward to this. To be directed by David Lowery, who directed the Pete's Dragon movie from a few years back with Robert Redford. I'm not sure if he's done anything else, but
the name sounds really familiar. David Lowery.
Well, I just Googled him and looked at his Wikipedia page, and he has a mean fucking mustache. So this man is the right guy to. Oh shit! Okay, to I was going to say to direct a movie with a pirate in it, but he is directing the Green Knight, which is probably where we talked about him last.
Which is the movie that never came out. We've never seen it, and we probably and I guess
which should have come out. Another one that should have come out by now, and is kind of in that weird unknown state of. This will come out at some point in the future, maybe. But yeah. So yes, we will be able to see his work firsthand, hopefully sometime this year. And then,
if
Peter
he's
Pan
the
and
same dude
Wendy's.
directing that shit, and it's got
that
Jude
trailer
Law in
alone
it.
was just like, I'm in.
Exactly. I do you think it's going to be like it's Disney's Peter Pan?
Yes. So it'll
Isn't
be
Peter Pan is Peter Pan like a Pinocchio thing where it's like free? It's what do they call that? You know what I'm talking about? Where it's open reign on anybody can make a
public domain.
Yeah, is Peter Pan that type of thing, or is it always Disney? I know it's a book. From 1904. It sounds like a fucking public domain thing.
It probably is. I think it's. I think, and especially a lot of Disney stuff is just basically sourced from, early 1900s books type things. So I would say at this point it probably is, but I don't know that for a fact. And it also is probably one of those things too where the public domain version of Peter Pan is
vastly
a little bit different from your Disney Peter Pan too, because they did make that one movie a few years back called Pan.
Okay.
Which I understand was horrendous. I never actually myself saw it, but that might have been something that was like supposed to be closer to the original thing. I'm just purely speculating at this point. That's just my guess.
Right.
But yeah. I don't know. I think. Yeah.
I'm willing
I think
to put money on its
this will be
public
closer
domain.
to the animated film. It probably. I think so. It's probably fair to say. But like I said, I think this will still be a lot closer to the Disney one, just because it's Disney making it.
Sure, absolutely.
Riding the coattails of what they've done previously with Peter Pan themselves. So yes, we look forward to Jude Law in Peter Pan as Captain Hook. And also, in terms of what Disney's up to these days, they've got a film headed to Disney Plus on August 14th, just a month away, called The One and Only Ivan, starring Bryan Cranston and a very, very talented voice cast. Danny
DeVito.
Danny DeVito playing a dog, an animated dog. Sam Rockwell as a gorilla. Yeah, it's kind of this, very obvious Disney family-styled film of a gorilla who I guess is in like a circus or some sort of show, basically, and talking animals, what's going on there. Separated from his family, he's got to reunite with his family. Heartwarming, hitting all those usual things you'd expect from this. Combination of live action and CGI, based apparently on a book, which was supposed to be very good. We got a trailer for it. I don't know if I said that already, but we got a trailer for it. We've seen the trailer for it. Do you have any thoughts on this one?
No, I find the CGI unsettling. I'm not a fan of the CG.
It's a little, yeah,
uncanny.
It's clear that it's. Well, I initially wasn't sure if it was gonna be like. I was like, oh, is this just animals? Is this a Lion King type thing? And I'm just like, it's clearly not at the Lion King level of fidelity. But I didn't know what it was going to be. But it's clearly, humans.
It's one of those things where you're gonna watch the movie for the first 15 minutes. You'll
get used to it. It'll be weird for a bit, and you're like, yeah, fine. Like Rampage, it's kind of what in terms of quality, like what it reminds me of. Significantly less George than Rampage, if I had to guess.
George.
But plenty of Ivan.
That's it.
Yeah. Look, it's it is what it is. I guess is kind of
it's
going to
set you up for a tearjerker. It's going to be purposely manipulative, I think.
Maybe. Yeah.
But
the baby elephant's going to bring you to tears. Just you wait for it.
That's it.
Danny DeVito's going to elicit some laughs with his character Bob the dog. Not kidding. His character is Bob the dog, which I honestly am in it for a CGI animated character voiced by Danny DeVito. We were unceremoniously robbed of it in Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
So we're getting the closest we can get here, and this is one that even if I'm not overly excited for it, and our again reiterating the theme of this episode. It's 2020. It's a very weird, topsy-turvy 2020. I'll give the one and only Ivan a look because what else am I going to do, really? But yeah, hopefully it just kind of hits that mark of exactly what you'd want it to be, of just, classic, heartwarming Disney film, family-friendly film. Like, as long as it hits that, like, it doesn't really need to be anything else,
That's true.
So, not the most exciting piece of news, but... yeah, there you have it. August 14th on Disney+. All right, so our next piece of news is also a trailer. I did something a little bit different than usual. So it's for The Boys Season 2. We got a teaser trailer for it. I asked that you did not watch it, which I realize is counterintuitive to talking about the trailer. But I did that because I wanted you to go back and watch a trailer for Season 1 of The Boys to encourage you to watch it, and so that you wouldn't be exposed to the spoilers present in the Season 2 teaser trailer, which obviously there are some, for the first season, I guess I should say, and obviously the second season as well. So I will ask you first, and then I'll touch on the Season 2 trailer briefly. I've been trying to push you in a direction. You have watching The Boys Season 1, and did this
to try to manipulate me. In any yes. Way? So you found a really good way to persuade or to sell me on. All right, just hurry up and watch it so we can talk about it. I feel like we watched the trailer for The Boys on an way earlier episode.
We must have. I'm sure we did. Yeah,
because I've seen it before. But I've seen it again. Definitely looks like my shit. I mean, you have a flashlight character, flashlight character,
right? Yeah,
running and apparently just speeding into somebody and exploding into them. Right. It's just kind of It's just kind of funny. You have a Superman-esque character saying, "Listen, I'm the baddest motherfucker in the world. I can do whatever I want. It doesn't matter." You have, it just seems highly interesting. Plus, you have Judge Dredd himself.
You have Carl Urban,
who has a fucking grudge against these guys. Mm-hmm. Apparently hunting them is what it kind of looks like.
Yeah, basically.
And that seems interesting because in this light, it seems like the normal dude is the hero, where the heroes are the assholes. So. It kind of flips the superhero genre on its head, which is a really unique thing to do. So I don't know. It seems super intriguing. I don't know why I haven't seen it yet, but I will watch it, and I will watch it before Season 2, hopefully in time for us to do a episode on Season 2, so hopefully I have a smooth transition from one season to the next.
Well, that would be very lovely of you to do. I obviously have been pushing you to watch this. And it's funny because you mentioned that we had talked about it previously on the show when the trailer came out, and I seem to recall watching the trailer and not digging it. I think you enjoyed it a lot more than I did, and I had heard good things about the show after it came out, and I didn't watch it when it came out. I kind of visited it a little bit later, after it had debuted, and yeah, it's just really, really lots of gore, lots of exploding bodies and blood and stuff like that. It is a very unique show, not a show that is not for everyone, but I've said this before, but a show I think that is for you and I, and so hopefully if you do watch Season 1 and then we do Season 2 and talk about it, I think hopefully we'll be on the same page. I guess we can save that conversation for some other time, but yeah, just to briefly get in a word on Season 2. It's coming in September. I think they're doing like a weird staggered drop where the first few episodes are up at once, and then it's a weekly release from that point. So it won't actually finish until October. So you have plenty of time to work your way through season 1, which is only 8 episodes. Season 2 trailer looks it seems to be recapturing exactly what made season 1 so fun, so great, and has excellent use of Billy Joel in the season 2 trailer. So
what?
I will tee that up for you. They use "We Didn't Start the Fire" throughout, and it's excellent. It's a very, very well put together trailer, with Billy Joel somewhat synced up with a kind of like 3 or 4 shots together of people just getting eviscerated in very horrible ways, and it is perfect for the boys, and so I'm greatly looking forward to the return of the boys. I think season 2 is going to be something special. I'm very, very excited about it, and so I'm excited to watch it and to hopefully get a chance to talk with you about it.
You will get the chance to talk about
on equal footing.
We will do it.
All right, we're committing. So yeah, we'll press pause there, I think, probably for a good little while, and revisit the conversation on the boys when season 2 drops, September, October, by the time it finishes. So, all right. So moving along, we talked about this not too long ago, maybe only a few episodes ago, that Ryan Gosling is going to headline a Wolfman movie for Universal.
That's fucking cool. All right,
and we have a update on that front, and that the director of it is going to be someone very familiar. It is going to be the director of The Invisible Man, Leigh Whannell, who obviously is just going to, I guess at this point, is content to just jump from Universal property to Universal property and just like, all right, you guys want to make The Mummy again? No? Well, then let me fucking do your shit for you. I think I think that's basically what's happening here. And he is going to be writing an additional treatment for the film. And I think Gosling had been involved in the get-go because he had some sort of pitch for it. So I don't know if it's scrapping that or kind of, taking that and running with it. But I think that he wrote and directed The Invisible Man. So I'm at the point where
let's see what you got.
Let him do what he wants. I think if he's got an idea for it. Clearly The Invisible Man was like, really, really good kind of updated take on the story and the character. And I think Wolfman is something, as we talked about when this news debuted, it's such a cool concept. And we kind of alluded to the fact, like, I don't know that we've really seen it done so super well. But I think because there's that potential there, I'm very excited to see what happens with this. So I think it's a good pick. You agree with that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said, we talked about it before, but yeah, just to drive it home, there's inspirational werewolf films, right? It was a thing. Werewolf in London or something like that. I forget what it's called. American Werewolf in London. Is that what it is?
Yeah, we talked about that. Mm-hmm.
It served a significant purpose for makeup and that sort of stuff. It's an important film. I don't want to dismiss it, but it was before my time, and I can't really remember it, and I can't think of, it seems like all sorts of horror movies are made all the time, you know what I mean? But a werewolf movie, like a really fucking good werewolf movie, I can't think of any, thing that gets me real excited, other than Twilight, of course. I really get excited about
classic.
Twilight.
Real classic. Real classic take on the werewolf. Absolutely.
And vampires, for that matter. They vampires, sparkle in the sun.
It's just the quintessential take on really all of these creatures. You can't beat it. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's a good combo. Ryan Gosling is great, obviously. And Leigh Whannell, between Upgrade and The Invisible Man, I think is on a hot streak. So I don't see why I should doubt this.
Did he... no, never mind. I was going to ask if he directed the first Saw, but he only acted in it, I think.
I think he co-wrote it and starred in it. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
he might have co-directed it too. I can't remember because I think he worked with James Wan on it. But I don't know if he actually directed it or if he just, I think, was involved in the writing of it.
And the first Saw was cool. There's nothing wrong with the first Saw. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I liked it.
That was before the franchise went off the deep end, as I guess a lot of horror franchises tend to do. But he wrote the movie, so he wrote it and starred in it, and he basically came up with a story with James Wan, who was the one that directed it by himself. So I just cleared that up. So yes, I know. I think he's had a good career, and this is something that I think he's, I think he'll do well with. So I'm excited about it. We have a similar horror vibes with our next piece of news, which is kind of a combination piece of news. So we did get a teaser for Halloween Kills, which is the follow-up to the 2018 Halloween sequel called Halloween, which was a sequel to the movie called Halloween. I know it's not confusing at all. But they brought Jamie Lee Curtis back as an older Laurie Strode. She had a family in it, and Michael Myers is back to wreak havoc because of course he is. This is the follow up to that 2018 film,
which is pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, it was good kind of straight sequel to the original, late 70s one. Skipping all of the middle 10 entries that happened that basically again took the franchise into the deep end, as many horror franchises are wont to do. Halloween, case in point. Kind of a way to reframe the franchise and hopefully reorient it in a positive direction. And it definitely hit the mark on that front. So they're filming Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends were filmed back to back. And so we got this teaser for the first of those sequels called Halloween Kills. Very short, about 30 seconds long, basically only showing Laurie with her family and like an ambulance, going away from a burning house, which was from the end of Halloween when Michael is supposedly killed, which of course, if they're making 2 more Halloween movies, we know that's probably unlikely to stick. But an effective teaser, one that, just kind of tease up this, hey, this is happening. Here's what's going on with it. So before I get into the second kind of piece of what's new about this, do you like the teaser, the brief teaser we got here?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
All right.
There was not a whole lot to it.
Yeah. It's short and sweet, just teeing it up of, hey, this is what's happening here. But I think why they put this out here is because this movie has been delayed. And I think that's the idea behind it. So this was actually supposed to come out this year in October. It was only a few months away, and it is now a year and a few months away. This has been another one that's gotten hit with a full year plus delay. So Halloween Kills has been moved to October 15th of 2021. And that was originally where Halloween Ends, the third one, was going to be. But they've now moved that to 2022, in October of 2022. So basically, these 2 sequels that were filmed consecutively have now been bumped back 1 year apiece each. So we have to wait a little bit longer to get some more Michael Myers action, unfortunately. But there's been a couple other changes as a result of the Halloween Kills date shifting. So Candyman, which was set for September, has now been bumped back to October 16th of this year, taking over the Halloween spot that was just vacated. And then another movie in your favorite film franchise of all time, The Purge film franchise.
Yes.
Was originally scheduled for, actually, it should have been out already this summer and had been taken off the release calendar, and obviously had not come out because theaters are still largely shut down. It's called Forever Purge. Excellent title. And it is now heading to July 9th of 2021. So I know you're really greatly looking forward to
Forever Purge.
We'll make sure we get our Purge bonus episode in time for next July. No, I don't think we will. No, I don't think I will.
I will pass.
So yeah, like I said, cool teaser, short and sweet, but a year-long delay. So, it is what it is. Welcome to 2020. All right, so we have a couple, 3 more pieces of news, all good things. I think the next 2 are sort of related, but not really. They both hail from DC, at least, I guess, in terms of their relation to each other. First up, we knew that Ruby Rose had stepped away from the role of Kate Kane in the CW Batwoman television show, and that was obviously a huge deal. Losing your main character is usually a bad sign for your show. And CW has decided to press on with Batwoman, and they have now found the new series lead to play Batwoman in the second season and hopefully moving forward. And it is Javicia Leslie, who her statement when her casting was announced reads, "I'm extremely proud to be the first Black actress to play the iconic role of Batwoman on television, and as a bisexual woman, I'm honored to join this groundbreaking show, which has been such a trailblazer for the LGBTQ plus community." So they made a commitment when Rivera stepped away to cast an LGBTQ plus actress to play the role, and so they have fulfilled that commitment. She is obviously not playing the same character as Ruby Rose was. She's going to be playing a new character called Ryan Wilder, who is an original character not from the comics, unless they're using code names for the character description. Described as a likable, messy, and a little goofy and untamed. Spent years as a drug runner, dodging Gotham City Police Department, masking her pain with bad habits. Lives in a van with her plant. And she's apparently the most dangerous type of fighter, highly skilled and wildly undisciplined. And she's going to be your new Batwoman. So this.
How did they write? How did they write the Batwoman out? Do you know?
I don't know. I think it sounds like. So they did confirm at one point that they're not going to kill the character off screen. Which I think is good. But it seems like this second season is going to be revolving around a mystery of, well, where is Batwoman? So they're not just like brushing it to this. I mean, they are brushing it to the side because they kind of have to. But
I don't mean to go back again, but how come Ruby Rose quit? I can't remember.
She just, I mean, she's, I think it was a mutual departure is kind of what it was cited as, when she I don't think she wanted to keep up with the production commitments of it, and it seemed like the CW, for one reason or another, was just like, fine, this is, we're good with this. We'll make do without you, kind of thing.
I gotcha.
So yeah, it was just really kind of a bad circumstance for kind of everyone involved. It seemed like, so it was, I guess, in everyone's best interest to part ways and move forward without her, but it left the writers in a precarious position of. I mean, they could have just recast the role, and I think that would have been fine, but clearly they didn't want to do that, so they've just kind of decided to reconfigure their second season for a new character, and so I think that Kate Kane will be missing in season 2, so there's going to be some sort of ongoing mystery about that. I don't know how the hell they're going to resolve that. If Ruby Rose isn't going to come back, maybe they can convince her to come back for a guest spot. I mean, that's just one of those things, like if you're going to have like a passing of the torch type thing, it's usually helpful if you have someone to pass the torch. So I don't know. I don't know how this show's going to work. I guess my two thoughts on this are that I think it's good casting. She seems like a good fit for what a Batwoman could be. She's obviously not playing Kate Kane. And it's good that they're casting, a Black actress to have, a title role on a television show. I think that's great. However, nothing about this character seems interesting to me in the slightest. I mean, just everything they've described sounds horrendous. And a lot of these character descriptions are usually really bad and just like over the top and just honestly just sound just real bad on paper. So, and granted, it is the CW. So it's not like we're walking in expecting, the highest caliber writing or characters to begin with. So I don't know. I haven't watched season 1 of Batwoman. Maybe it's good that they're tilting in a different direction. Maybe it's disappointing that they are. I truly don't know. But alas, this is the situation we find ourselves in with Javicia Leslie stepping in to play Batwoman. I don't know if you have any thoughts. I know you. I don't fault you if you have really nothing to offer. But
unfortunately, I have absolutely nothing to offer on the Batwoman front.
All right. Well, if you happen to watch Batwoman at any time, then feel free to chip in on a future episode. Otherwise, we'll leave it there. Shifting gears to a different DC Bat-related character. It's the Batman. The Batman. It's the other Bat character it's the one that the most people know about. It's people know Batman, right? We're getting a Batman TV show at HBO Max. Well, I guess that's somewhat misleading. It is a TV show set in the same universe as the upcoming DC film, The Batman, with Robert Pattinson. and it kind of just sounds like they're doing Gotham again. Except I guess in and probably a very different tone overall, but basically original DC drama set in the Gotham City Police Department, which, like I said, it's Gotham again. But it's set in the world that Matt Reeves is creating for the Batman. It's going to build upon the film's examination of the anatomy of corruption in Gotham City, and it's intended to launch a new Batman universe across multiple platforms. So,
wow,
it's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
Like, I mean, I'm assuming that the Batman is going to have kind of this grungy take on Gotham, and I feel like Gotham, the TV show, was not that. It was, pretty over the top and outlandish, and I feel like this is probably going to be more, I don't know if True Detective is kind of the right template necessarily, but something closer to that in tone, just kind of a more hard-boiled, thing. I think it could be cool, Like, I always thought that something... I mean, there's a comics, I don't know if it's called GCPD, but it's kind of this take on the Gotham City Police Department as they work in a world where the Batman exists, and what's that like. And I always thought that would be more interesting than this, the Gotham that we got of, let's make this show about Gotham 10 years before Batman exists. Bruce Wayne is a child in this. And I don't know I don't know when this is going to be set, but I hope that even if Batman himself doesn't show up in person, like, I think it would be cool if it was... The presence of Batman is known, Yeah,
a
Gotham Police Department where the Batman is around, and you're just like, I think that's way more interesting than just a corrupt police department, because that's just real life. I mean, like, seriously.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, and so, to have, this kind of larger than life figure that looms over the police department who's going to fuck your day up, whether you're a cop or not, I think that's interesting. That's a wrinkle that separates it.
That is interesting. Absolutely.
Like, do we need this? Really? So that's kind of my take on it, is I really, really hope that they lean into that. And I trust Matt Reeves, and I'm really, really looking forward to the Batman, the film. So I think there's definitely potential here. So, and HBO Max, cool. Why not? Good to have things on streaming service and stuff, right? So
absolutely.
So, yeah, that's cool. And last but not least is another new television show, one I am pretty excited about, called Star Wars: The Bad Batch.
Ooh, I know The Bad Batch.
Yeah. We recently talked about The Bad Batch and that final season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, in which they were introduced. It's a new animated series to debut on Disney Plus in 2021, centered around the Bad Batch, who are kind of this group of clone troopers who were kind of genetic anomalies. They weren't quite right, I guess, in terms of being clones, but they kind of excel in their own ways. They got one that's like a really good sniper. You got this one guy who's super strong, someone who's like really tech savvy and smart, and one who's just like a really good like leader and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that the arc centered around them and that last season of Clone Wars was fucking awesome, and I thought these characters were super charming and fun, and I'm excited to see a show centered around them. I think it's really cool.
It is really cool. I wonder if they're taking place before or after they pick up Nines. Is it Nines?
Right. Yes. Echo, because he's all messed up.
That's it. So yeah, Echo's like essentially like a fucking android at this point. Mm-hmm. He's kind of like what's his face's character in Alien. Where he's
Ash.
Yeah. Where you can just like integrate with computers and stuff, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's really fucking cool, actually.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
The press release says post Clone War era. So
okay.
I don't know if it's like
way after or not.
I don't know if it's just I assume it's still pre A New Hope. I don't know if it'll be closer to Rebels in terms of chronology or what's happening, because I guess it begs the question of does the Bad Batch participate in Order 66? Are they even around Jedi when things go down?
They're so
what does
uniquely
that mean?
different. I would imagine that that their chip's got to be messed up. Surely.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm sure they'll probably explore that. Dave Filoni's involved as an executive producer. It's a lot of the same crew that's worked on all of the Lucasfilm animation shows. So
we'll see what happens.
I think it's cool. I'm excited about it. Yeah, very cool. And that's it for the news. Star Wars: The Bad Batch is coming out next year, and I'm sure we'll be checking it out. But right now, we're going to check into something very different. We talked about time loops earlier, and now we have the opportunity to further that conversation by talking about Palm Springs, which was written by Andy Ciara, directed in his directorial debut by Max Barbacow, starring Andy Samberg, Cristin Milioti, and J.K. Simmons. In Palm Springs, two strangers meet at a Palm Springs wedding only to get stuck in a time loop together. And various shenanigans ensue from that point, which we'll talk about. So you just watched this, I believe, I guess probably just I would say a little over an hour ago at this point. So it's a very fresh take coming out of our listeners from one Andrew Meadows. So let me turn the mic over to you, sir. What's your take on Palm Springs?
I think Palm Springs is a. I thought it was funny. I laughed quite a bit in it.
Okay.
Thought it was charming. I think if you can look past the, I think Andy, say his last name? Samberg. I think Andy Samberg, you see Andy Samberg, and at least for me personally, and this might be, I might be completely wrong, and that's fine. If I'm completely wrong, everybody can, I would enjoy to read some emails from everyone who thinks I'm wrong. But you see Andy Samberg, and I think the humor is just going to be just really fucking stupid. Like, I'm not particularly looking forward to it. It might be funny. I might laugh, but it's going to be surface level fucking humor. But I think, whether it be the use of the time loop or whether it be I don't know, there's like a dichotomy with the humor, like it's just dark humor, and I thought the film was thoroughly entertaining and thoroughly funny. And it's more so than just stupid humor. Like, he's got stupid humor in here, and that's fine. That's funny. But the intricacies of his character were a lot deeper than just typical, like, Adam Sandler-like humor. Does that make sense? He's like,
definitely.
He's a very Adam Sandler-like kind of actor, I think. So
yeah, I don't think I would go that far personally, but I understand the comparison.
You can see the comparison. So when you start to add these, I don't know, it's just his character was very layered. And so was the actress, her name?
Cristin Milioti.
Yes, she was fabulous. I thought she was awesome. Very charming, very charming interactions between the two of them. I thought they bounced well off of each other. And I really enjoyed it. I also enjoyed J.K. Simmons. I always enjoyed J.K. Simmons.
He's great. He's always great. He does no wrong.
He does no wrong. Exactly. So I really, really enjoyed the film. I enjoyed the music in the film. The soundtrack was good. I thought it was, I don't know. It was just charming. The whole film was really charming. And I thought that the use of the time loop was a really interesting way to build a relationship between two characters. We've seen it before in Live, Die, Repeat.
Right.
But you see it here too, and I thought it was good. And surprisingly, I mean, I was pretty excited about it when I saw the trailer. It looked pretty funny. But I didn't expect to get such a nuanced feeling from the movie. You know what I mean? It was much more
there's a bit more depth to it.
Exactly.
Than
what you would think. Right.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really, really liked this. Charming is, I think, a great word. I think the cast is very charming. I think the tone of it is, it's a quick paced movie that, basically, I think kind of due to the nature of it with the time loop being such an essential aspect to its plot, it is constantly resetting things and playing with different, variances of things that we've seen throughout the film, and in clever and unexpected ways sometimes, while still seeding in, some plot twists you don't see coming, some kind of weird outlandish things that happen throughout where you just, again, don't see it coming. But I think just more broadly, it's just a super charming, entertaining, enjoyable, and funny film. It's really fucking funny.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
Just the humor is just super on point. I guess I'm softer on Andy Samberg myself. I think if your connotation of Andy Samberg's name is Hot Rod, then I think that's probably maybe where you're coming from.
That's right. I'm not real versed in this stuff.
And I enjoy the Lonely Island stuff that he's done, and I think it's fun. I haven't seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I know people enjoy that show a lot.
I will admit, I have seen this one thing where he plays the guitar in like an interrogation room or whatever, and he he's just strumming on the guitar and he just goes, ah! And I thought that was pretty fucking funny. Have you seen that?
I haven't. I've seen the one where he has the lineup doing the Backstreet Boys, and
yes, that's pretty great too. Okay,
yeah,
so
I've
maybe
seen that one. That's pretty good.
I was a little harsh on him to begin with, but Hot Rod
but I think it's fair. Like if that's like your exposure, then I think that's totally fair. I think he's funny. I think he's charming. But I could certainly see him being that sort of polarizing figure, a la an Adam Sandler, where you're just like, not for me, and you walk in, and like I think Adam Sandler is someone that is talented and can be good, but usually appears in projects where he is not, and projects that are bad. And I think Andy Samberg's a little bit different. And I think maybe earlier in his career it was kind of something along those trajectory, but I feel like it really hasn't been that way super recently. But this isn't like something that's like an obvious like, oh, this is going to be an Andy Samberg type thing, and it's not. I think he embodies this particular character very well in terms of just kind of his outlook on life and where we find this character, which we'll talk about in spoilers. I think is interesting. I think he's really good. Cristin Milioti is the standout in this film. She's amazing. She steals this movie. J.K. Simmons is great. Don't get me wrong, but Cristin Milioti is the reason this movie is so incredibly fun. And obviously the camaraderie that she has with Andy Samberg drives this movie. But it's just I just had so much fun with this movie, and I appreciated that it was 90 minutes long, and it doesn't fuck around, and it kind of just dumps you into things in a way, which again is something I'll touch on in spoilers, but it's just very, very entertaining. There's not a dull moment in it. There's always some sort of humorous dialogue that's coming along around every corner. Some sort of interesting wrinkle in the story that comes along. It's good.
I think one of the reasons why I like these movies so much, I think it's the same reason why I really like a Castaway or the movie with Daniel Craig in the movie in the fucking house. Knives Out, or any other movie where you have like a singular source of setting and you let the characters develop.
Yeah,
it's kind of the same thing with this Groundhog Day thing, right? They're perpetually in the same situation over and over again. So the setting remains the same, the circumstances of their day remain the same, but the only thing that changes is the characters. Right,
and there's a tremendous amount of growth that is achieved in this movie within 90 minutes.
Right, absolutely.
It's way more than you get. It's certainly more than you probably would have expected walking in. As I think you kind of alluded to earlier, but. Most movies don't pull this sort of depth off within a 2+ hour runtime, let alone an hour and a half runtime. Like, it really does a lot with a little. And that's true, I think, of the setting. And I think that's true of just the writing is just, it's
tight.
There's a lot of bang for your buck. It's very tight. Like I said, it's pretty quickly paced. It's just really, really charming and enjoyable. And this is probably like, I don't know. It's the first. I sometimes struggle to watch movies at home, just because I'm liable. That's why I like the theater experience, is because I don't have those distractions around me. Like, I'm not looking at my phone. Like, whereas at home I'm like always going to be like looking at my phone every so often, or just getting distracted. Like, oh, I'm hungry. Let me go get a snack. Where I'm not going to like pop
Right.
out of the theater in the middle of the movie. I'm like, let me buy my $10 popcorn now. It's just a different vibe. And this is the first time in a long time
You've been glued.
I feel like where I was just glued, like I was just transfixed the whole time. And granted, it's not super long, and I think that helped again. But it was breezy and just enjoyable, and pretty much I didn't look at my phone. I was just into it. I was just really into it.
No,
and
I agree with you.
And I think it starts, like I said, in an interesting way that hooks you, and it really just doesn't let go, and it never really loses the plot in any sort of way. It's just, there's always some new wrinkle that comes along, or some new funny scenario that gets cooked up that just keeps you entertained from minute to minute. And so I was just a huge fan. This is honestly, I've been thinking, I want to watch Hamilton again, obviously, and that's a almost 3-hour commitment, and this is a 90-minute commitment, and the thing is with like streaming films, like I don't really, it's weird because like Marvel movies come out and I'll rewatch them multiple times in theaters, and the streaming movies I'm just like, I'm good, like I liked it, but like I'm good, but like Hamilton and this now where I'm just like, I kind of just want to go back and watch these movies again.
Right.
Like just good. They're just good. They're just good stuff. You
and
like
I really don't. I really don't think it's
things.
I really don't think it's a situation to where the and I've been a big sayer in this. I don't know if that's the way to say it, but with the lack of content that's been produced recently, it's easy to get excited about the smallest things. I don't think that's the case with this. Certainly not the case with fucking Hamilton.
It's not a case of lowered expectations.
No,
it's just a case of like,
this is pretty good stuff.
This is the first time in a good while where like,
wow,
we're just getting good content. Like you're just straight up getting like worthwhile, exciting content, and it's finally a cut above that. Well, what else are you going to watch these days? This is a far cry from that. Like this is now 2 episodes in a row where I feel like we've just gotten
good shit.
That level of content that you want, that you hope for, but you just we're just not accustomed to really these days. And so I guess when it does come along, it's just like, ooh, you get giddy about it almost.
That's it. Because usually what happens is you watch something bad, and you're really pissed off about it I don't know about you, but I can carry a grudge about having to go to the movie theater and watch something shitty for a couple days. Like, it's like, fuck.
Sure.
3 days, 4 days in, I'm still pissed off about wasting my time
looking at you, Wrinkle in Time, looking at you, Hellboy, and Humans.
But, if you were to put a Hellboy or Inhumans on me now, yeah, it was pretty shitty, but what else are you going to watch?
What are you going to do?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyways, yes, good stuff. You ready to move on to recommendations?
Yeah. There's a lot I want to talk about in spoilers, so yes, let's go ahead and hit on recommendation.
And we're using the TV ranking.
We're going to use our ranking scale that we've been employing since coronavirus wrecked our lives and forced us to watch everything on streaming. 5 tiers, very yes being the top, followed by yes, middle ground is totally fine, then fine, and then last, and still actually least, is shithouse. That's the worst rating we can give out. I am going to follow on the heels of what I did with Hamilton and just give this a very yes. I really, really enjoyed it. There really wasn't anything for me that it didn't work. Like I said, I'm keen to revisit it. I thought the performances, Andy Samberg, particularly Cristin Milioti, and J.K. Simmons, all great. There's a few actors in it that I recognize from other things. Camila Mendez is in this. She's from Riverdale. Tyler Hoechlin, CW's Superman, is in this. Dale Dickey, June Squibb. It's a really good cast. And a fun setting. It's a singular setting, as we talked about, but it's a fun setting. Good, bright setting, fun vibes. Makes you almost yearn for a time where you could have weddings with people and outdoors and do things and stuff like that. Maybe that's part of the factor.
Brighter days
of enjoying it, but it's just really excellently written, cleverly written, well acted, and just God, between this and Hamilton, we've just been missing that sense of fun and enjoyment from our lives, and they've brought it back in a big way. I'm all about it, man. I'm really all about it. So I am saying very yes on this. I will rewatch this at some point. I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm going very yes. Where do you stand?
I will say very yes. This is the second. I think it's the third very yes thing I've watched from Hulu so far.
Okay.
So I caught the Reese Witherspoon production.
Little Fires Everywhere.
Yep, I thought that was a very yes.
Okay, right.
And then of course the Handmaid's Tale, which was also Hulu. I didn't see season 2 of that, but either way, good things coming from the Hulus. I don't watch everything Hulu, but those 3 things are good. This is a very good thing. Like you say, it's written tightly. I enjoyed the. I think this more so this movie in particular more so than Live Die Repeat and that's the only other one I've seen. But I would imagine Groundhog Day. It makes the more nuanced. It allows for a little bit of a deeper characterization of the people or the characters in the film stuck in the situation, and I think it allows, because it's like a rom-com situation, it kind of allows a deeper exploration of characterization. Does that make sense? And like a repeating thing, right? Like for example, in Live Die Repeat, you had all the action and stuff, right? And they really went heavy in the explanation as to why we were living in the same day. And yes, there was a romantic approach to it, and there was this and there was that, but there was also all the action and the deep sci-fi stuff. And this one, it's really about like living day in, day out, and how do you find a good approach to life, and how do you find, you know what I mean, acknowledging your shortcomings. And there's just a lot of different new, like, just layers to the characters in this movie. Yeah. And they do it with a comedic approach, but it's also touching on a lot of really relatable stuff. And like I said, it was just written really well. So that's it. It's really approachable. It's lighthearted. It's funny. There's something for, if you just want to sit back and watch a movie, if there's something there that you want to really dissect a character, I think you could probably get away with that too. I think there's something there for everybody. And, I think it's a really well layered film. It's really good.
I think it's
very yes. Anyways,
very yes.
I don't think I said it, but yes, very yes.
Very yes.
Highly recommend it.
Let's mosey on over to full spoilers for Palm Springs. At the outset here, I watched this with Anna, and she agrees with this. She wanted this to be her contribution to the listener's corner in a way. She wants to point out, and again, I fully stand behind this sentiment, that the best line of dialogue in this film, and really for any film ever, and the best delivery of any line of dialogue, is the following: "Suck my dick, officer, bitch." And I know I cannot hit the mark that Cristin Milioti hit with that particular thing, but we have watched that pretty clip good. About 100 times since watching this movie because it's so fucking funny. And it's, that's this movie in a nutshell.
Tase me in the face. Tase me in the face.
What are you gonna fucking tase me, fuckface?
And then he fucking tases him. He's got fucking blood coming out of his eye.
Yeah. It's just every minute of this movie is just loaded with something that just kills.
It's good.
Just hysterical. And again, I really don't think there's a dull moment in this movie. I mean, there's a lot of particular moments in this movie that I could shout out as just being either unexpected or funny or interesting or just some nice thing to say about all of it.
You get the fucking Ace Ventura, the bow and arrow shooting him in the legs. Oh!
Yes. Yeah, that was awesome. I definitely got some kind of vibes from it.
Yeah,
for sure. So what I think what's interesting about this movie, and I think this is different from the traditional time loop setting, is that our introduction to Niles is he is knee deep into the time loop. He has been in it for God knows how long. I think I saw something. It was an interview with either the writer or director, and I don't have it in front of me, so I don't know the exact time. But they said the implication is that he has been in this time loop for like 40 years or something like that.
No.
And so, like, they said at one point they tinkered with the idea of using time cards to kind of show the passage of time more so, and they ended up not doing it. So you can kind of fill in the gaps for yourself. But
40
the
years.
idea is that, like, by the end, he has been in there for 40 years, which just explains, a lot about where his character is at, why he has he has such a nihilistic viewpoint on the world and everything,
which is pretty fucking,
and it's hilarious, and it's super dark.
It is very dark. Yes,
it's very dark, but it adds, like I think by having that, because you think about Edge of Tomorrow, Live Die Repeat, we see Tom Cruise go from coward to action hero within the span of the movie. But he, and it's an interesting development. It's a huge,
it's awesome.
It basically turns his character upside down, right? But it's different. It's a totally different movie when when Niles here is just already in the midst of this loop, and he is just this person as we see him, And I kind of got the impression that was going to be the case when he steals the mic away from Sarah and starts giving the wedding speech at the beginning. And I'm just, and even just looking at what he's wearing to the wedding, he's just got, the shorts and the Hawaiian shirt on, and everyone else is wearing, formal attire. I'm just like, oh, I think he must already be in the loop.
And I
just think that's
like locking eyes with her the entire speech. It's just fucking great.
It's just such an interesting idea to have, like, kind of this introduction to the time loop, just being in the middle of the time loop. And then, you have Roy coming around, hunting him because he's stuck in the time. Like, there's just, like I said, there's just new wrinkles that get added every so often. And so Niles isn't your main character. There's two main characters, I guess, in a way. But, like, one of your main characters is one that's just so knee deep into this that, like, he's just given up on even trying to do anything about it. And he's just, whatever, I'm gonna live my day over and over and over again. Whereas, once Sarah comes into the picture, that's when you kind of get that more traditional lens of what the fuck is going on, what the fuck is this? What did you do? And it's funny because he's just like, chill the fuck out, that's fine, like, just living the same day out. Like, what's the big fucking deal?
Take it easy, man.
And I think that dynamic is what drives this movie, because she's always freaking out about, there's the whole scene where she just, drinks 10 pots of coffee and drives from California to Texas and then accidentally falls asleep and is just like, fuck, she kind of goes through all the cycles, and he's just like, yeah, been there, done that, even just like the lines of dialogue of just being like, yeah, having a long protracted death in the ICU is the worst. Yeah, you don't want to do that, And I think I just thought it was such a clever way to handle the storytelling, was to start him in such a different spot, so that, I guess compared to, Edge of Tomorrow, where you have, both Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt kind of have changes in their characters as a result of the loops. It's different because they're not both stuck in the loop. I mean, she was at one point, but
he's the constant.
Have them stuck in the loop together.
In this one, Andy is the fucking constant. She's the dynamic. She's the changing force, right. Which is cool. She, I don't know. She's the driving force of the movie. Like you said, she does all the heavy lifting, and it's
I just think it's interesting that not only, she obviously, changes by the end of the movie too, but he changes in a fundamental way, but because of her.
Exactly.
No, not because of some self-awareness that he himself gains, but because she is like, that she's that driving force for change in him to kind of snap him out of the lull that he is for years, I guess, effectively kind of been stuck in.
Which we often all find ourselves in, sometimes, these things are real things, so it's, I don't know. I think it's a really fucking delightful movie. It's a lot of fun.
It is.
The when she runs out of when the bride runs out of the house and she trips and her fucking teeth.
Oh, and her teeth get knocked out. Oh, that was amazing.
This did us glue's teeth.
There was just so many. There was
he stabs that dude in the fucking face. He gets up and he's got the fork sticking.
Fork inside his face. See, I think the joy of these time loop movies, and I think this is true of all of them, is there's just, there's always that thought in your head, and in like everyday life, you're like, what if I just fucking did what I really felt like doing right now? And like that's what these movies show, is just like, there's gonna be no consequences. I can just take a nap and then everything will be reset. I'm just gonna fucking do some wild shit right now.
Just fucking do it.
And just do it and not care about it. And so like there's a combination of that. And again, that's true of, like I said, any movies that kind of really hit on this type of plot device. But here it was just used for great comedic effect, perpetually. Whether, the wedding speech was just kind of that initial example of it happening. And then throughout, there's just a couple moments. There's
he can throw darts when they go in.
Darts.
When they go in, they do the dance sequence.
They do the coordinated dance was incredible when they go in. Just like, why not? Why not do this? Just spend days just practicing the choreography and just going in and fucking with these people in the bar. Just have no idea what the hell is going on. It's great. I enjoyed. I think there's kind of a montage sequence in the middle-ish, which was great, where Sarah tricks like one of the groomsmen into going into the bathroom where Niles' girlfriend is cheating on him with the one guy, and so he walks in with just a shirt on and his pants off and the blindfold. It's just a very quick kind of like moment.
It's good.
And the cake scene with the cake bomb was incredible. I think that's got to be another classic moment.
Oh yes,
Everyone,
she
there's
fucking
a bomb in
runs
the
in with
cake. I'm a bomb expert. Yeah. Like just blissful moments of just like, this is just funny. And like, like if you were in this situation, you would want to make the best of things like that and just have days where you just fuck around. You got to find the joy in the little things. And that's one of those things that you do.
It was really heartwarming though, where you have both these depressed people. And then after the first couple of days of waking up in the loop, they start to wake up with smiles on their face.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see the impact that they have on each other. I thought that was pretty heartwarming. And I don't know, man. And then when she went away.
Yeah, and it hit hard. I mean, obviously he was pretty, shaken by that. Having this sudden meaning to his life
pulled
gone,
away.
Basically.
Then now you got to suffer day in, day out, the same shit day in, day out.
Yeah,
with nothing to look forward to. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. Yeah, and so
it's hard, man. It's hard.
By the time that she does come around, I think one of the
she studies.
She fucking learns quantum mechanics and shit. Like that's awesome, and like that's just such a clever thing. Is just being like, he's so stuck in this that he can't see a way out, whereas she's just like, I will figure this out, kind of thing. Like I'm done with this. I need to make a change. I'm going to do this. You can either do it with me or, you can be content to just fuck yourself, every day kind of thing. To have that, to have her again, just be the person that, is the one that basically drives the movie like that. I think it's nice. It's really refreshing. And she like I said, she steals the movie because it's awesome. I enjoy that they just had even the brief moment of her like falling asleep watching the lecture, because of course, if you're trying to fucking teach yourself quantum mechanics, like, and you're kind of, like as a layman, like
she's got to start over again.
and again, that's another thing, is like, God knows how long that actually took for her to get to the point where she did, and it's a quick montage, but that's probably,
it's got to be years,
months, if not years, type length of, really, really diving headfirst into that sort of thing and driving to the same diner every day. And, that's got to be monotonous and just really, really tough. And, the movie kind of just brushes past that in the sense that, we don't need to dwell.
That's not the story we're telling, but
if you sit back and think about like really just the minutia of this film of, Niles being stuck in this loop where his girlfriend cheats on him every day, like that's fucked up, and so his one respite is just to, fuck with his girlfriend, the
drink all day long.
just the beer can opening every 5 seconds. This movie, but like even just that sound was funny because he's just walking around drinking, just popping a beer can every so often. It's funny. I was gonna say I enjoyed how he just fucked with his girlfriend like multiple times, just being like, "You're the one cheating on me, you goof." It was a good line when he's repeating
when he copies her
the same
for
things.
like a straight minute.
Ah,
It's good.
All right, I'm gonna go.
That's it.
It was just funny. Yeah.
Dark humor, man. It's always
it was dark humor. I mean, yeah, like driving the car into the truck, and her running in front of the truck, like dark humor, and even just J.K. Simmons' character is kind of like it gets pretty deep with him too.
It does.
Just being like, I got fucking hit with that police cruiser and spend a few days in the hospital. I'm like, I kind of fucked up and changed my viewpoint. I'm like, you know what, I was mad at you for this, but I've got a family, and I'm never going to see them grow up, but I guess I
it's pretty great
didn't
here.
really appreciate what I did have, until I kind of saw that side of things. So I feel like it, even though it is so humorous and hits the mark so well on that, it does absolutely just bring it home in terms of the emotionality of the characters, their relationship to each other.
I think it's what makes dark humor so good. That's why I think it's probably one of my. I think I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say it's my favorite kind of humor, dark humor.
Yeah,
it's often the most real. I think it's the realest humor. It's the kind of humor where you take a really shitty situation, you just kind of try to make light of it. And I don't know, it's really Waller's.
I mean, 2020 is a prime example of dark humor is the only way to survive, right?
What are you gonna do? So yeah, no, it's I don't know, man. I think the timing's perfect. I think I'm really all about this fucking movie. I'm really all about it. I never thought you'd hear me say, I'm just gonna go out and I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm most surprised because I anticipated it being pretty good.
Yeah, it looked good. It looked funny, but you didn't expect the, I think, surprising emotionality and depth of it.
The level of impact.
I think you expected funny stuff, and you got funny stuff, but then you got more than just that.
That's it. Exactly.
And I think to my point of just the writing, I guess really our point of the writing being clever, I appreciated that the way the movie was written was designed to kind of give you a new plot revelation that maybe you saw coming, maybe you didn't, but like every so often, and something that adds to the depth of these characters and what has been going on within the time loop of, right, from the beginning, we find out that he's already in the time loop, pretty not crazy, kind of expected that, but good to have confirmation of that. But then beyond that, Sarah is not waking up in her own bed.
No.
That she's staying in, like they make the point of just being like, oh, you must have gotten up early today. You don't really know what's going on there and find out that she's in bed the groom's bed, who is, and she's the maid of honor for her sister's wedding. Like that's just the layers of oof, like yikes,
right.
Boiled into that. And it just kind of shows how her character in a microcosm is just someone that has really,
she's got to grapple with that,
Yeah, she's got to deal with that. She's obviously just, had a tough go of things and, is kind of the redheaded, stepsister of the family or whatever, the expression is, she's the odd man out, I guess, in her family and she pushes people away and she does shitty things and she has to kind of look internally and just be like, shit, that's me. I need to do something.
And then you've got Andy deep in the fucking hole.
And he's just, he just doesn't give a fuck anymore. And he's just like, well, this is the day my girlfriend cheats on me all day. I'm just going to fucking sit here and get drunk all day, every day and float in this pool.
Fuck it.
And the thing is, like, a lot of when we see him, he says the same things to the people, like he doesn't even try to change things. He's just literally spouting the same script. He's just reciting the script.
That's it.
He is just so baked into this setting that he doesn't even like I'm sure there was years where he did everything and now he's back to the point of just being like,
I can't change it.
I'll just keep living the same thing every day.
I can't change
what's the point of changing it at this point? Yeah.
That's it.
So yeah, it's a really a really dark place to be in, and so, it's refreshing when he goes on these adventures with Sarah and has this opportunity to really kind of...
She pulls him out of a hole. She really does.
Yeah, get out of the hole. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, there's a tremendous amount of depth in a surface level humorous film. It's really good.
Yeah, and I guess the one other kind of revelation that I think comes up is that, he lies to Sarah about sleeping with her in previous loops. That's kind of a big deal. It's just like, yeah, I fucked you 1,000 times or whatever, and so that's kind of a big shift in then their dynamic too. And obviously that sparks a big kind of change in the movie where she goes away. But yeah, I don't know. It's there's a lot of layers to it that I think really, really work really well. And I can't really think of anything that again fell flat for me, like whether it's dark humor or just actual emotional depth to it. It really just hits the mark on all these things. And again, for a 90-minute time frame, like you just rarely get that sort of thing. So
nice and tight.
I was very impressed. So yeah, did you watch the mid-credits scene?
Yes.
It was like, yeah, okay. It was pretty
Where he
short,
goes back to see him and he doesn't recognize him.
Yeah. But yeah, it gives you the idea that at least Roy has an inkling of how to get out of his time loop if he so chooses to. So it's good that they didn't just leave that thread dangling. I have 2 more things to say, and then I think maybe we can move along. I just want to reiterate how amazing that scene is where she confronts the cop.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
I just want to close the loop on that, the time loop on that, because it's incredible and it brings me great joy. Just the suddenness of her "suck my dick, officer, bitch." Just incredible.
I'm touching your motorcycle. I'm touching your motorcycle.
And like just that, like that is like that's like a perfect minute of comedy for me, of just her fucking with the officer, him getting tased, and be like, and then there's a quick cutaway to J.K. Simmons, like, after
who
he's
the
been
fuck
hit with,
is this?
He's like, what the fuck was that? Just blood coming out of his mouth, like, paralyzed, basically, like dark humor at its finest.
They wouldn't let him go to sleep because they were afraid he was going to go into coma, so they kept him up.
Yeah, just, I mean, so good.
That's fun.
So good. And the last thing I'll say, and this is just as if you are listening to this, you just decided to plow right through and experience full spoilers without seeing it. Well, that's your choice, my dude. But apparently, this has set a Hulu streaming record with the biggest opening weekend for Hulu. Yeah, more hours watched over its first 3 days than any other film on Hulu during the same period. So get on it. I mean, as if our word wasn't enough. Follow the masses. They know what's up. They're watching this shit for a reason. So, yeah, we highly, highly recommend that you watch Palm Springs on Hulu as soon as you have an opportunity to do so. And so that is what I have to say on Palm Springs.
That's all I've got to say on it as well.
All right. Well, very good then. Have you been up to anything exciting recently?
I installed. I had gutters put in around the house, and I put drainage pipes all around the house at all the downspouts.
Yeah, I saw that you rented some sort of fancy equipment to do this.
That, sir, is called a trencher, stand-behind trencher, and it is pretty cool. I enjoyed driving it.
Nifty little toy?
Yes, it tears the ground up very quickly. I managed to destroy all my sprinklers.
Nice.
And then I went over to the neighbor's house and destroyed his sprinklers.
I'm sure they're thrilled.
For some reason, it was pretty fucked up. I hit far less of his sprinklers than I did mine. But anyways, now I shouldn't have. I was having a real issue with water coming off of the roof and falling on the ground and like washing away the foundation of my house. Like it was just washing away the dirt around the house. So I had to put the gutters in. I put the gutters in, and because of where the house is at, I have a big ditch in my backyard. So I ran the majority of the pipes to that ditch, and then I have a retention pond to the eastern side of my home, and I ran a couple of those pipes down to the retention pond. So all of the water that falls on my home is being relocated to either the ditch in the backyard or the retention pond to the east.
Nice.
So it should totally solve my water problem, which is good. It was just obscenely expensive to fix and a lot of fucking work to fix it. So we'll see. We'll see if it's all worth it. I hope it is. The pipes run. The pipes are still exposed. The sprinklers aren't fixed, so they're still not fucking over. But it is what it is. It's good to have a project, I guess. So that's what I've got. Other than that, we watched Alexander Hamilton recently, which changed my life. I feel real good about watching that shit. I tell
Look, you can spend 2 hours and 40 minutes watching Hamilton or listening to our episode on it. We recommend that you watch it. We also recommend that you listen to, but yeah, we spent 2 fucking hours of that episode alone just talking about the damn thing itself. So that to me speaks volumes. So yes, if you are spreading the gospel, the good word of
I feel like
Alexander Hamilton, then you're doing it right.
To be fair, I think I was slightly inebriated when I recorded that episode.
Well, weren't we all? But
a little toasty. But yeah. It's really good. I don't think I've watched. Supermarket Sweep is on Netflix. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that, but
back in the day, I've seen a handful of episodes.
Yeah, it's cool. So I've watched a couple episodes of that. I think that's about it. I've played a couple new board games. We went to the Walmart while we were in Blue Ridge and bought some board games and brought them back home. One of which is Rummy Cube, which is a pretty cool game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a good thinking game. And another one is there's this game called House of Danger, I think it is.
All right.
House of Danger, and it's like a choose your own adventure game.
Okay.
It's like a hand-holdy RPG D&D kind of deal, where you choose your own adventure. You roll dice to see if you're successful in certain challenges. If you're successful, you could get items for your inventory, and it helps you progress through the story. Lot of reading, but I think it's pretty fun. I kind of enjoyed it. It's kind of super nerdy. It's not the best written thing in the world, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I kind of enjoy it. I think there's a couple of them that are in that same vein, but I think the one I have is House of Danger. I played it with Steve and my buddy Steve, and we put on some spooky horror music scores while we played it and turned off the lights down low and sat there and played it. And it was pretty cool. Just something to do, to have a beer and play this stupid game. Rummy Cube's cool though. It's highly competitive and it's a good thinking game. So, but other than that, I think that might be it. I think that's all I've been up to. I've been watching or playing anything recently. So, what about you, man? What you been up to?
Not too much on my end. Rewatched Wonder Woman with Anna yesterday. She'd been wanting to watch it, so we popped it in. I think it's the first time I've watched it in 4K at home, so looked good. No Man's Land scene is incredible. It's a good movie. One that unfortunately I think falters for me in the third act with its Ares bullshit. Big smoke monster, fire everywhere kind of stuff. Just
flying and like bouncing off of each other like toys.
just loses the plot a little bit for me towards the end, which I always find I forget how disappointed I become because I think the first 2/3 of that movie are legitimately really
very
excellent.
Good, right? Yeah.
And so it's still good, and I still think I think it's probably still the best DC movie that they've put out in recent memory. It just what could have been still always disappoints me. But I won't dwell on that. I think it's really good. I'm glad I rewatched it. Hopefully, 1984 does indeed come out. I think it's set for October right now, so hopefully theaters are tenable by October, so we can see some more Wonder Woman action. Because I'm excited to see a Wonder Woman movie in a different setting. I enjoyed that. It was a good rewatch. Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, all very good. Interesting watching it so close to Captain America: The First Avenger because they're structurally very similar films. I think Wonder Woman has better action. I think Captain America, I don't know. They're pretty close to me in terms of quality. I'd hate to say one is better than the other, but I think they have different strengths, I guess I'll say. But yeah, Wonder Woman's good. Other than that, a little bit of Star Wars, a little Star Wars action.
Nice.
Been working on some Star Wars stuff for a little while. So I watched the first episode of the Disney Gallery documentary series. I don't know if you've watched any of it yet.
No, not
so
yet.
The first episode was centered around directing, so it highlighted the 5 directors of the first season of Mando, which were Dave Filoni, Rick Famuyiwa, Deborah Chow, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Taika Waititi. And Taika is always a delight. Takiti Waititi, I'm sorry, I know you recognize him only as Takiti these days, but
Takiti Waititi.
he's a delight to watch. It was cool. There's 8 episodes in it, and they're pretty wildly different lengths. I think there's like one that's on Score that's like 20 minutes long, and some of them are like 30 plus minutes long. So it's something I'll probably watch here and there, and get that cool behind the scenes look. It was neat, even just seeing how they filmed the cockpit shots for Mando during those like the space dogfight sequences was just kind of cool. So I enjoyed that. It was a well put together episode, and I'm sure the series is probably similarly well put together, so I'm looking forward to watching more of it. I'll probably watch it on and off, though. It's not one that I feel the need to binge. I am working on Star Wars Rebels. I haven't talked about it, I don't think, in any depth in a while. I'm 13 episodes in of the first season.
Okay.
So I've watched a bit of it. There was a Lando episode a little while back that I watched that was fun, with Billy Dee voicing Lando. It's getting into some cool stuff. Ezra got a kyber crystal, built his own lightsaber.
Ooh, with a little blaster in it.
Yeah, and he heard Yoda's voice when he was going through like a Jedi temple. Tarkin just showed up in the last episode that I watched, and they just captured Kanan. So some cool shit going on. There's been some Fulcrum references, which I obviously have the Clone Wars knowledge on that front, which makes me excited about what's to come. So I enjoy the characters. I enjoyed the setting, and I haven't been like binging episodes. I've just been kind of watching here and there.
Keep
it's
going,
nice
dude.
to finally get through it.
Keeps getting better. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, and I've enjoyed it from the outset. So I think that if I'm enjoying it right now, I think I'm really, really going to enjoy it once it kind of, really starts hitting the mark even more so. It's certainly, I think it's early season stuff is better than early Clone Wars for sure. I would say it just feels easier to get through with the same cast of characters, and kind of there's kind of a decent through line through all of the episodes, even if each episode kind of deals with the rebels doing something different, each time. So I'm enjoying it. I've also played a little bit more Fallen Order. I'm still working through it. I think I'm done with Zepho for the second time through. I just got captured by a bounty hunter and then had to fight a bunch of monsters and then kill the bounty hunter to get out. And so that's where I left off.
That's where I left off too.
Okay, so we're now on the same playing field. Did you get out of? Did you fight all the monsters and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. I just thought it was I thought it was cool how when you got captured, it went to like the respawn screen, but it said reawaken, and I was just like, oh shit, did I fuck up? What's happening here?
Makes you wonder what would happen if you would have killed the bounty hunter when you first encountered him.
Well, I looked it up, and apparently it's scripted so that you'll always get captured. But
that's bullshit.
I know, that's what I thought. I'm like, I was kicking that guy's ass. What the fuck? And I was like, I'm going to reset this shit if I need to. But apparently it's just kind of a scripted encounter type thing. But yeah, it's fun. I'm slowly but surely making my way through it. I guess obviously you were on the same playing field there of, well, we'll finish it eventually. But yeah, I do enjoy it a lot. So yeah, lots of Star Wars.
That's awesome. There's nothing wrong with Star Wars.
Probably. Nothing wrong with Star Wars. I will probably rewatch Skywalker and Solo at some point. So maybe I'll talk about that on next episode or two. We'll see whenever I get around to it. But yeah, I think that's all I've really been up to that I can think of. I want to watch Hamilton. I may get a chance to do that before we record next. But obviously, to reiterate what you said, go watch it if you haven't already. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say right now. So I think that's all either of us probably have to say at the moment. So thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, please spread the word. On the Patreon front, we have, I think, finally started dipping our toes into the 1990s of Studio Ghibli, although I think we both have quite a few films left to watch at this point.
I have a few.
So I guess there's a couple that you've probably already seen previously. So I'm not sure, I don't know if you're going to rewatch Mononoke or how you're going to handle some. But
so I don't. I'm 2 in so far on.
Okay,
I've watched 2 new ones. I should say I've watched 2 ones.
Okay,
I've previously seen 2 other ones. I know that I at least want to rewatch one of those 2. So
okay. So I have a little bit more work. I've only watched 1, so I have 6 to go. But
did you like what you watched?
I did. I did indeed like what I watched. So I'm excited to get into the next 6 ones and then get into talking about them with you for our next bonus episode. So we're working on that. Obviously, hopefully it'll be up sooner rather than later. But as we've now talked about, we have some work to do. So if you do want to support us on Patreon to get early access to all of our regular episodes or to go back and listen to our COVID-19 pandemic special that we recorded quite some time ago now, just head to patreon.com/watchreviewrepeat. And $2 a month will get you access to all of that. Our website is watchreviewrepeat.com. You can find us on Twitter. Follow us there at WRRPod is our handle. If you search for Watch Review Repeat on Facebook, you'll find a page for us there. You can like our page, get information there. Questions, comments, suggestions, thoughts on Hamilton, Palm Springs, anything else. watchreviewrepeat@gmail.com. Happy to open up a new segment of the Listener's Corner on one of these next upcoming episodes for you guys. Our intro and outro track, Mechanical by Kevin MacLeod, licensed under the Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. Every time I do all this stuff, it almost feels like I'm in a time loop in a way.
We've done this before.
So I think for our next episode, I don't think I wasn't planning on really giving it much mind, but The Old Guard is out on Netflix now. Came out the same day as Palm Springs, in fact. Apparently very good. It's the Charlize Theron one, where she's like immortal or something. And it's gotten really good reviews, and people are saying it's pretty good. So I think that might be the next one that we take a look at. And I don't think there's really anything else coming out within the next week or so that feels worthy of our attention. So I think that's probably what the expectation is going to be for what we cover next. So look forward to that. Andrew?
Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Suck my dick, officer, bitch!